Hey math group, I wanted to take this video and use it as an opportunity to show you guys a little bit more what UBD Day is going to be all about, and take away the mystery and the ambiguity that sometimes revolves around these days. Alright, so we're in UBD Day, and first I'm going to tell you guys what is UBD, the main idea, and we're going to explain the main idea, which is what is a performance task exactly. Alright, well, let's talk about what UBD is not. Alright, well, UBD is not the typical teach a topic, teach another topic. It might be more than 3, it might be less than 3, it could be 1, it could be 7. But you always have different topics on different days. After you teach all these topics, we tend to make an assessment based on what you taught for each topic after you taught. And then you're going to give that assessment to those kids on these topics you taught. But UBD tries to go the opposite way. It's understanding by design. So we're going to go backwards. And actually the first thing we're going to do is create an assessment for what should be understood within the topics we will teach in the future. So start off creating the assessment and then teach the topics. UBD also likes to throw in these things called performance tasks. And that's where we show our understanding with these performance tasks. We teach all these topics. It might be more than 3, it might be less. But in the end, you'll give the assessment on the topics you created before, the assessment you created before. So now you can see kind of what the idea of UBD is in general, even though there's a lot more to it. But this is the general idea. Let's jump into performance tasks. So UBD and performance tasks, you need to be leaning towards these things. All right? So these are the things over here that we don't want to be doing anymore. And these are the things over here that we do want to be doing. So think about learning by observation. Do we want to watch someone do it and then just learn it? No, we want to learn by doing something. Should we be telling? No, we should be showing. Should we be teaching only by lectures, or can we give more student-centered learning? Should we just be giving standardized tests as our only assessment? Or should we be showing understanding of what they learned through a real-life project? Should we teach them to memorize and then regurgitate what they memorized? No, we should show that they have actual understanding with the ability to apply it. All right, so I'm going to give a big X to all this stuff because we don't want to be doing that with what we're trying to work on. We want to be doing all this good stuff here. All right, let's talk about then what a performance task actually is. The big word is use and apply. All right, we want to use what we've been taught. You're taught subtraction. Well, let's use it for a purpose, for a project. We'll give more examples later, but it's really the using what you've learned. And then you're going to apply it, your newfound knowledge, to something. Okay, performance task. We can give a definition here. Students assume a role, so they're going to be doing something, they're going to be somebody, where they show their understanding by doing a project, an activity, or an application. So they're going to show you that they get it by applying it and showing it in a situation. So let's do an example. Let's talk about what it actually is. The first thing you're going to do, a question is going to be posed. And that question might be, how can you represent the subtraction of numbers with objects? The second thing is going to be students are shown the topic. So then you basically teach them subtraction, what it is. And then the big part here, students will perform or show or do something where they must apply / use the learned knowledge that they learned up here. They should assume a role, and they should also have an audience. So what if I did this for my performance task? Students are instructed to teach aliens subtraction by given a typical worksheet with subtraction problems. And they are instructed to show the representation with block manipulatives and vice versa. So, because aliens don't understand numbers, they only understand objects, and maybe those kids will show the aliens about subtractions through objects. So they are the teacher, the aliens are the learners that don't understand numbers. They have to show everything through objects. And that would be them doing something, hopefully that they understand the subtraction. And if they're able to understand the subtraction, then by doing this project, they'll show you that they understand it. Okay? Let's go over some more examples of what a performance task might be. I teach trigonometry in Algebra 2. So students will measure the height of a flagpole by measuring the shadow of the pole and angle of the sun. That's my goal. That's what I want them to do. Here's the situation. Dr. Chuck, he's my audience, needs to know the height of the flagpole because he needs to buy a new rope. All you can do is measure the length of the shadow and the angle of the sun. Well, to show you guys, this is the deal. This is the pole with the flag, and then here's the shadow. So if we take trigonometry, we realize this is a right angle, and we have a right triangle here. And if we find the measure of this angle and the length of this shadow, I can use tangent. So they would be showing me that by looking at this situation, where would they use trigonometry in real life? And they'd be using it, they'd apply it to this problem, and they'd fully show me that they understand. Notice how I don't say in this situation that they're going to use trigonometry. I don't say they're going to use trigonometry up here. They have to figure that out on their own by the knowledge that they have of what I taught them about trigonometry. All right, we're almost there, and let's talk about another performance task example. Let's go away from math so we can understand other people too. Let's talk about the Vietnam War facts. That's the topic. We're learning about the Vietnam War. Here's your performance task. Pretend you're an advisor to President Johnson during the Vietnam War, and you have to create a presentation for the president to let him know whether you should send more troops into the war or not. Kids should support their findings by backing up what they say with historical fact. This might not be necessary to put in there. That should just be, they should understand that they're going to be using facts in there, what they've learned. So we taught them all about the Vietnam War, why we should send troops, what we're really doing there, and you're going to advise them, or the students will advise the president whether he should go now. So they're using what they learned, they're using these random history facts, and they're going to apply them to a situation just like this. Okay, so how are we going to make our performance task to make it easy? Because we want it to be easy. We're going to use this thing called grasps. Now, grasps is just to make it easier. If you have another way you'd like to do it, then we can do it another way, but I just feel like this is going to be concrete and make sure you do everything, and that's it. So first of all, you're going to have your G stands for goal, role, R role, A audience, situation, product, and then last standards and criteria. So let's go back to the Dr. Chuck and the flagpole. And this is what I would have done for this one. Okay, the G would have been use trigonometry to solve problems. The role would have been, well, I'm an advisor of Dr. Chuck. The audience is Dr. Chuck. Situation, well, Dr. Chuck, or Chuckles, wants to find the height of the flagpole, and you only can measure the length of the shadow and angle of the sun. All right, I want the product. What they get out of it is find the height of the flagpole using the tan ratio. And the standards is trigonometry 5.0. I'm not sure if that standard is correct, but you could find it in our standard sheets I'll supply you guys. All right, I think I've done enough talking. I hope that this helped, and it can start us off on a good note when we start on Friday. All right, thanks, guys. After I finished, I realized that I could have shown you guys this. Which was some other examples of performance tasks and the grasps idea, like starting even at grade 2. This is the type of stuff that could be done. The goal, to create a media work from the point of view of a Canadian animal that has experienced a change in its environment. That's kind of cool. The role, TVO kids, cartoonists. The producers, TVO kids. So you got the role in the audience is easy. The scenario, the producers of TVO Kids would like to produce some new cartoons with Canadian animal characters. The animals are experiencing changes in their environment, and you have to use their problem-solving skills to adapt to the changes. Students will create a storyboard of 3 to 5 pictures. Under each picture, 1 to 2 sentences will describe the scene. So you can see what a grasp do to help you. The only thing it doesn't have here is the last S, which is the standard. And here's another 4 to 5. If you want to pause this and read it, you can. Here's another one, grade 7. This is a good one. A little science, math, art, folk. You can pause it and read it. Here's a grade 10 one. And this is academic science. A good grasp. And grade 12, chemistry. Another grasp. And yeah, that's all I got for you. Hopefully we can make our own performance tasks that are even better.